Hey, it's Andrea, and today is Monday, February 19th, 2018, and this is the day that we celebrate President's Day, although most of the time the celebration just includes like white sales and stuff like that, by which I mean for people in other countries that it's linen sales. I've been struggling about whether I wanted to do this video or not, and it's because when I started this channel, I decided I didn't want to do any political commentary at all, and like I had things that I do want to cover and things that I don't want to cover, and mostly stuff about my own life. But at the same time, I am an American, and it's about an American life, and also there are many, I have many viewers that are from other countries. So I think that when people from other countries see some of the things that go on in the United States, they don't always understand exactly what's going on. And what I'm referring to is gun violence in America, and in particular how even like just last week there was a shooting in a high school in Florida, I believe, where people were killed, and then everybody goes back and forth of, when should we have gun control, should we not have gun control, is it this, is it that? My aim isn't to get political about that kind of stuff. It's to discuss why not much gets done about it, and it's not exactly what you think it's going to be. The reason is not, it's a little more complicated than most people consider. Now, to have full disclosure, I want to say that I have shot guns, and I have fired guns, and I have fired rifles. And as recently as last year, I fired guns on an indoor gun range. That being said, I also do not own any guns. If I did, I would probably buy a rifle. I like the a bolt action rifle. I like the control and shooting long distance, and that's neither here nor there. What I want to discuss is why these things, not why they keep happening. I mean, violence is inherent to humans, but why not much gets done about it. And you might think I'm going to say stuff about NRA and stuff like that. And that's not what I'm going to discuss. What I'm going to discuss is the Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights. Now, most people just think of this Second Amendment as, okay, it's the right to bear arms. But you have to look at the sentence specifically to understand why the government does not want to mess with it. The government, and this is my opinion, this part, the government doesn't want everyday Americans to think about the reason why this was put into the Constitution, okay? It's not so that people could defend themselves against invaders, okay? Let me say the sentence first, and then we'll take it from there. The Second Amendment, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, the part that people often skip, maybe they don't understand, is the beginning, which is understandable why people wouldn't want to understand it. This is written, a couple hundred years ago, so a few hundred years ago. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. What that is saying is that our forefathers who wrote up the Constitution included this Bill of Rights and the Second Amendment because they didn't want the government to run rampant over the people. They wanted the people to have the right to bear arms so they could form a militia against the government. If the government, was doing something that was impinging on the rights of American citizens, okay? They wanted, in a way, the government to feel a stronger accountability to the American citizens. Now, this is very important because this is saying we have the right to bear arms because if the government's not doing its job, we should be gathering together a militia and taking it down. The government, when these laws come up, when people say we should have a law, we should block this, we should block that with guns, they don't want people to look too far into this. Now, maybe this is part of my paranoia, I don't know, but I have thought this since a young age. Mostly because I'm very interested in Ben Franklin, and I believe he helped form the first militia and he disbanded it after it did what he wanted it to do, which I think was just basically, get the point across. But the government wants it to stay focused on gun violence on one side and the NRA on the other. The basic American right to bear arms. They don't want it being focused on the fact that that right to bear arms is so that we can take back the government if we want. I'm sounding like a radical. I know, I'm not saying I want to take back the government, but I'm saying that is why it is in the Bill of Rights. And that is why I cannot ever see a time where gun ownership will be illegal in the United States, will be hyper-controlled in the United States. For the most part, Americans, average everyday Americans for the most part, are quite content, they're quite happy to, watch their TV or use the internet or have cell phones. They're not paying attention to stuff. But if the government comes in and starts messing with the right to own guns, that's when people start paying attention. Because America is very much about freedom. Now, I'm not going to say my thoughts on any of this stuff, my personal thoughts, because I don't want this to be about that. I want this video to be about, to help people understand why not much gets done about it. There's a balance between the government those in the government try to maintain a balance between how can we appease people who, understandably, or not understandably, however you want to look at it, want to deal with gun violence and temper it, and appease people who are, trying to protect the right to bear arms. So, that's my thoughts on that. And like I said, this was more like a way to explain to people what's going on, not to say my thoughts one way or the other. So, if you have something, if you have something you want to discuss about what I said, about the actual wording of the Constitution and why there's that balance that nothing really changes in gun ownership, then, I welcome you to leave a comment in the comment section below. And I'm sorry this isn't like my other vlogs. You know, I wanted to start doing vlogs on Mondays where I do a car vlog, and it's very rainy today, but yeah, this is just something that was on my mind and that I was thinking about people that have become friends of mine from other countries and what they must think, or how confusing it must seem in some ways of what goes on here, you know, in the U.S., and why things are done the way they are done. So I hope I helped explain some of that. I am by no means an expert. I am an average everyday citizen, and I hope that you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.